Successful individuals and successful companies have many things in common. But one thing that I'd like to talk to you today about is the fact that successful individuals enjoy the process of acquiring specialized knowledge. Hi, this is Stendall. In this video, I'm going to share some important ideas for you that can really help move you forward. And the topic of today's video is all about acquiring specialized knowledge. So what I want you to do is, as we go through this video, I want you to take a couple notes of what you can do to amp up your game plan to improve the way you learn and how you learn. So let's talk a little bit about learning. Learning is something that you need to volitionally or choose to go through. It's not just going, your new ideas are not just going to pop into your head without any effort. So let's think about it. When you first go down the pathway of creating a learning plan for yourself, you have to first identify what it is you want to learn. What it is you want to learn should be directly related to the nature of the work that you're doing and where the extra effort from learning would have a significant payoff and dividend that will come back to you through allowing you to do your work quicker, faster, and easier, right? So this is the first step that most people get confused on or really don't execute on. They don't like to learn, or they say they like to learn, but they don't even have a learning plan. I want to suggest that you and me and folks that are like-minded like us create learning plans for ourselves. So what does a learning plan look like? Well, a learning plan essentially identifies the key topics of interest, the key resources of people who teach those topics and are established experts in those fields. It makes sense to learn from somebody who is getting the results that you want to get. And then it's about maximizing your time and prioritizing your activities so that you can absorb that information in the different modalities that make sense for you and the way you like to learn and your style of learning. And ultimately it's about being able to synthesize the knowledge in some type of a format that you can use as a reference and then be able to use that knowledge, right? That's basically what the whole process looks like. So deciding what it is you need to learn can fall into many different categories. I mean, the popular niches really in business are all about sales and marketing, two key things that drive top-level growth, key areas for growth there. Outside of the sales and marketing arena, there's lots of things to be learned in relationships, lots of things to be learned in health-related fields so that we can live strong and have a vitality so that we can execute and live our dreams. But irrespective of what that key topic is that you really want to master, the first step is identifying it and identifying why you want to learn this topic. Why is this topic so important to you? The next step is doing a little bit of research to figure out who is teaching this topic and how are they teaching it and what results are they getting. After you've done that step, the next step is to figure out how are you going to learn it. You can read something, you can listen to something, you can watch something, or you can experience something, right? Well, if we want to talk about experiencing something, that might be going to a conference or going to a seminar or going to some type of a retreat with like-minded people all interested in learning a particular topic. If you want to talk about watching something, it could be a DVD, it could be an online video, it could be a video on YouTube like this or on social media channels. If we're talking about audio, it could be an audio podcast, it can be a CD, it could be a tape that you have from a long time ago, since tapes are not very popular anymore. If you're going to read something, of course, it could be a book, it could be an article, it could be a blog post. Now, the idea here is that you want to pick different ways of learning across these different modalities and schedule it into your calendar. So, for example, you might decide that this calendar year, I'm interested in going to 2 conferences or 2 seminars. And I'm interested in studying these 4 different video home study programs. And I'm interested in studying these audio programs, which I'm going to use in the car. And I'm also interested in reading at least 2 books a month. Just 2 books a month. Now, I know what you might be saying. 2 books a month? That seems like a lot of books. Well, really, it's not that many books. 2 books a month. If you allocate time every day to do a little bit of reading, you can get it done. Now, you might say to me, but Ray, I don't have the time. I want to suggest you do have the time. You see, we all have 168 hours in a week. And after you factor in all of your personal errands, your job, your activities, what you do, the time you sleep, taking care of the kids, the pets, shopping, all those good things, if you subtract out that from 168, you're going to find out that there is time available. And even if you struggle to find the time, I want to suggest that you have the time, at least in transportation. You can listen to content in your car. Your car should not move unless there is educational content playing in your car. You might say to me, but Ray, my kids are not going to like it. You should say back to them, kids, you're going to like it and you're going to learn a lot from it. You see, having the kids listening to this stuff in the background about goal setting, about effective sales training, effective marketing techniques, is going to benefit them. It's going to get back into their subconscious mind, and you're going to be astounded how you're going to help raise entrepreneurs who are going to make a difference in the future. So after you basically identify what you want, who's teaching it, identify the modalities, schedule it into your plan, and you go through this training, your next 2 steps are to summarize what it is you've learned. I like to use mind maps, and they're called learning maps from my friend and colleague Brian Tracy. He calls them learning maps. And it's essentially a mind map, which is one idea connected to another idea, connected to another idea on a piece of paper, or you can use software. I like to use a tool called MindJet myself, or on an iPad, try iThought HD, great tool. And as you do that, you'll be able to structure what you've learned in a way in which you can reference back. And finally, the next step is to ask yourself, what can I implement today? What action steps can I take today that will get the results that I want? So this is Ray Stendall, wishing you the very best. If you like these types of ideas, come back to my website, raystendall.com, and I'll give you access to 30 minutes of free video training, which I know you're going to love. Also, come to businessthoughtoftheday.com, and you'll get a business thought each and every day, a personal development thought with action items that you can implement. And if you're connected on social media, connect with me on social media. RayOnYouTube.com, RayOnFacebook.com, RayOnTwitter.com, RayOnLinkedIn.com. I'd like to know what you're thinking. What are some of your challenges? What are you trying to accomplish? I'd like to know how I may be able to help you. This is Ray Stendall wishing you the very best. Go forward, create a learning plan today, and get the results that you know you deserve.